All right, so here we go. Darin, would you like to take the first slide?
All right. Is this the first one? Or are we going to the next one?
There you go.
All right. So this is our program. And so we're expanding. We're expecting 90 students this next fall. And so we are opening a new classroom up at the DTech Center. So there'll be a new teacher and staff there. And so, and then currently we're at the STEP location on Vista, which is where there's 4 classrooms. And then we have 2 classrooms down at Timberline. And if you look at the slide, the students that will be attending the Dennis Tech require our least amount of support, all the way down to where we get to Timberline, which are our students who require the most amount of support. So there are 7 teachers, and there's what, 16, 17 paraprofessionals that are with us in this program, along with an OT and the PTs.
All right, thanks, Darin. All right, so what do we do at STEP? We focus on many areas that support our students in gaining the most independence. We usually have students from the time they're 18 or 19 until the semester that they turn 21. So we do focus on independent living skills. So anywhere from cleaning and cooking and hygiene to locating and accessing an apartment or supported living or adult services. We do have a social worker that is attached to our program as well, and they can help access SSI benefits and other disability services. Occupational preparation, we do have job sites for many of our students, and depending on their level of independence, we are supporting them at their job sites at first, and then we kind of fade support as they become more independent. We also practice employment skills at STEP. So we treat STEP as a work site. So we expect that students are dressing appropriately, acting appropriately, and speaking appropriately to them, to the teachers and staff and their peers. Community participation, we do like to access the community, and hopefully next year we can increase that. This year we spent a lot of time in the classroom, a lot more than we usually have in the past. So we access the community primarily on the city bus, but that kind of depends on which of the programs you or your student is accessing STEP from. Here at the Vista branch, we're right on 2 bus lines. So we can go down to downtown or to the mall. We just have a lot of options here, which is really nice. And then social development, we are always working on social skills, whether it's classroom social skills, just basic adult social skills, or employment social skills. And then the last one is recreation awareness. So the last thing we want is our students who are accessing special education to leave school and sit in their room and play video games all day and have their parents serve them lunch, dinner, and breakfast. We'd like them to be able to get out. And so some of the classes will do yoga. In the past, we'd be able to bring in people from the community, from like Boise Parks and Rec, to instruct some recreation or exercise activities. And we do walk a lot in the community as well. And that's across all 3 locations. We do have access to that. And all of our activities are focusing, or our focuses are aligned with the 3 post-secondary education goals that you guys are used to seeing in your IEPs or your students' IEP, which is what are you going to be doing for education after school? How are you going to live independently as possible? And then whether or not you're going to be employed, or to what extent you will be employed. And we try to support all 3 of those here at STEP. Go ahead, Darin.
All right, so a typical day at STEP. So students arrive at STEP a variety of ways. We get students that come to us by city bus, school bus, the access. Some come in here by foot, some will ride a bike, and some may even drive their own vehicle. So in a, this does move. So in the classroom, the students participate in functional activity instruction. So we move away from the student's going to read at a certain grade level, and the student's going to do math at a certain grade level. Everything becomes very functional. So everything goes into measuring or reading recipes or reading directions. And so those type of life skills, again, all apply to cooking. Can I read the directions off the back of the soap box? The cleaning, laundry skills into budgeting. We're working on the social skills and employment acquisition skills throughout the day. So when we do go in the community, the students learn how to access the different types of transportation. And so every time my students are out, we're always talking about safety. How do I cross the streets? How do I get to a certain location? If I'm on the bus, when do I need to pull? All those type of things that a typical student would need to know if they were accessing one of those forms of transportation. And then the last is on the job site. Students will learn vocational skills, social skills, hard skills required to perform job duties, advocating for themselves, punctuality, learning how to have a boss, and what that's like and what to expect when they do look for a job full time.
Thank you, Darin. All right, so why STEP? So first of all, you have to be eligible for STEP. So STEP is for students who are eligible for special education and have graduated from high school with a diploma with adaptations, which means the IEP determined how you graduated. So if you or your student graduated with a regular high school diploma, you're able to access the required courses and all of the 48 credits just with accommodations, then when you walk across the stage here in a couple of weeks, then you would no longer be eligible for special education and you would move under the Americans with Disabilities Act. But we are still in the school district and we do serve students 18 to 21, but they still have to be eligible for special education. If you want to increase your skills in independent living, accessing the community, and employment. So if you're interested in doing this, STEP is voluntary. So we don't want students to come in thinking that it's mandatory. We want them to participate as adults. We're not in high school anymore. We expect kind of more participation because you want to be here. We also want to know that you like working and learning in an adult environment. And that you have plans for what you'll do after high school, but you need some more help in attaining them. And that's ideally what we're here for, is we have this next 3 years to get you ready for living on your own, having a more permanent job, maybe accessing some courses at CWI or something like that, trying to help you, teach you the skills to get you where you want to be. And then at the semester you turn 21, you graduate from STEP. And then everyone who turns 21 who's under special education then would age out. And so after you turn 21, you can stay for that semester, but then you graduate from STEP as well.
And every so often we have students who finish the program. I mean, I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish and I may graduate at 20. So they have that flexibility as they come in through the program. And but most of our kids stay until they're 21.
And then why STEP and then why not STEP? So go ahead, Darin.
All right, so like Bryon explained, so if you're not eligible for special education, so if you graduate with the typical diploma through the school district, you are not eligible to come to STEP. And it's not something you can change the last semester. It's something that would have happened probably your sophomore year as you're going through the process, planning what it's going to look like for your graduation. If you are employed and are in the process of or already living on your own, that may not be, you've already accomplished the things that we're trying to work on, of trying to get independence in employment and independence in living. And then you no longer want to go to school. So I'm 18, I think I can do what I need to do. I have my resources set up to go. I'm no longer interested in school. But at any point, they decide they want a little bit of help, they're still eligible until they are 21. So if I get out there, I get a year in and I decide I need some help, then you can come back until you are 21 and join us.
Okay, and with STEP, we do have an attendance policy, just like a school. You know, it's not compulsory education like it is when you're in high school. You don't have to attend, but if you are enrolled, we do want you to be here. And we can be flexible with your schedule. We have a couple students that maybe work part-time. And so we're not going to keep them from working part-time and being able to have more financial freedom. So we just kind of count that time if they're working during the day as their attendance at STEP. All right, so I'm going to stop recording and then allow our participants to ask some questions through chat.